Good afternoon. So we've got one more chapter where Job speaks, chapter 31. And then we've got Elihu, which is 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. And Job never responds to him. But the Lord comes and answers out of the whirlwind. So welcome to Job 31 with me today. I have made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young woman? For what is the allotment of God from above? An inheritance of the Almighty from on high. Is it not destruction for the wicked? And disaster for the works of iniquity? Does he not see my ways and count all my steps? If I've walked with falsehood, or if my foot has hastened to deceit, let me be weighed on honest scales, that God may know my integrity. If my step is turned from the way, or my heart walked after my eyes, or if any spot adheres to my hands, yes, let my harvest be rooted out. Job is maintaining his integrity. That's what the Lord allowed him to do in the midst of things that were impossible, that didn't make sense. If my heart has been enticed by a woman, or if I've lurked at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind for another, and let others bow down over her, for that would be wickedness. Yes, it would be iniquity deserving of judgment. For that would be a fire that consumes to destruction and would root out all my increase. If I have despised the cause of my male or female servant, when they complained against me, what then shall I do when God rises up? When he punishes, how shall I answer him? Does not he who made me in the womb make them? Did not the same one fashion us in the womb? If I have kept the poor from their desire, or caused the eyes of the widow to fail, or eaten my morsels by myself, so that the fatherless could not eat of it, but from my youth I reared him as a father, and from my mother's womb I guided the widow. If I've seen anyone perish for lack of clothing, or any poor person without covering, if his heart has not blessed me, and if he was not warmed with fleece from my sheep, if I've raised my hand against the fatherless, when I saw I had help in the gate, then let my arm fall from his shoulder. Let my arm be torn to the socket. For destruction from God is a terror to me. And because of his magnificence, I cannot endure. If I have made gold my hope, or said to find gold, you are my confidence, if I've rejoiced because my wealth was great and because my hand had gained much, or if I have observed the sun when it shines, or the moon moving in brightness, so that my heart has been secretly enticed, and my mouth has kissed my hand, that also would be an iniquity deserving of judgment. For I would have denied God, who is above. If I have rejoiced at the destruction of him who hated me, or lifted myself up when evil found him, indeed, I have not allowed my mouth to sin by asking for a curse on his soul. If the men of my tent have not said, who is there that has not been satisfied with his meat? But no sojourner had to lodge in the street, for I open my doors to the traveler. If I've covered my transgressions as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, because I feared the great multitude and dreaded the contempt of families, so that I kept silence and did not go out of the door. Oh, that I had one to hear me. Here is my mark. Oh, but that the Almighty would answer me. That my prosecutor had written a book. Surely I would carry it on my shoulder and bind it on me like a crown. I would declare to him the number of my steps like a prince. I would approach him. If my land cries out against me and its furrows leap together, if I've eaten its fruit without money or caused its owners to lose their lives, then let thistles grow instead of wheat, and weeds instead of barley. The words of Job are ended. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, Job has way more integrity than I do. He made a better covenant with his eyes than I have. I have not always done righteousness. And I'm so thankful for the cross. It doesn't give me a license to sin, but it cleanses me when my heart has real sorrow that I missed the mark. But Job had all of these things happen to him, and look at his life. Sometimes stuff happens not because we deserve it. All that he lost, if you go back to that and you look at how Satan got permission to do what he did to Job, it kind of challenges your heart to think, at this point in this story, what about the goodness of God? But what if, when God fashioned Job and he saw him, he knew that the impossible of his journey would cause a growth, and that would lead him into intimacy with this God that God craved. I bless you if you're at the beginning of your story and you're just wrestling with loss. It's a real, legitimate place on the path of life. I bless you if it's flushing up stuff in your heart that you didn't know was there. Good, bad, or ugly. That's also part of the process. I bless you in the part of grieving, because that's important. And I bless you to hang on to what God knows you need to hang on to. I bless you that the story is not over. When I worked for California Public Interest Research Group, I used to wear a shirt that said, "The future's so bright, you gotta wear shades." The best is yet to come. It doesn't mean that this isn't hard, what you're going through. It just means that it's not eternal. It doesn't last forever. And I bless you with that hope. In Jesus' name.